Zhang Yi said righteously. This mission is of great importance and we must act cautiously, so I decided to observe here carefully before making plans. He only promised Zhang to move forward, but did not say how far to move forward. Really let him lead the team into the center of Jiangning Square and fight with the large army of Eclipse. He is not stupid. The other side may have mutants close to the level of Epsilon. Zhang Yi will not be so conceited as to think that he can save everyone's life. Anyway, the mutants in their outer city are not the main force. It's just taking some supplies. Why play with life? Chen Xiao and Peng Li were completely speechless. Chen Xiao and the others also knew that the war had already started on the other two fronts. If they did nothing, wouldn't they just watch their mission points being taken away by others? Zhang Yi, if you do this, won't our coming here be in vain? Chen Xiao couldn't help but said angrily. She stared at Zhang Yi with a little dissatisfaction, but Zhang Yi said calmly, "There are endless missions, but you only have one life. I think the premise of completing the mission is to protect your own life first." Chen Xiao's tone sank. "But we came here for a purpose. I'm sorry. I can't be as greedy for life and afraid of death as you. In order to survive, I can let the Ronin run rampant on our land." Zhang Yi glanced at her and clapped his hands in approval. "Well said, you are really amazing. So if you are unhappy, you can leave. I didn't force you to act with me." Zhang Yi and Chen Xiao had a falling out. Chen Xiao was not very convinced that Zhang Yi was the captain. Now, seeing that Zhang Yi was so cowardly and delayed her from completing the task and earning points, she was impatient and directly confronted Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi was not tolerant of her at all and told her that she could leave if she was unhappy. Chen Xiao stared at Zhang Yi, clenched her fists, and was furious. She felt that her luck was really bad, and she actually met such a cowardly teammate. After Zhang Yi finished speaking, Peng Li could not help it. She rushed up, put her hands on her hips, and scolded Zhang Yi. "Leave if you want to. Following you as a captain, you can't even get a hair of points. People like you will never accomplish anything great in the future. You have no courage." She snorted coldly and stretched out her hand to pull Chen Xiao's arm. Xiao, let's act on our own." Chen Xiao frowned even deeper. They act separately. They will not be sure they can handle the masters of Eclipse Moon. But Zhang Yi's way of doing things is something she cannot agree with at all. Seeing that they can only continue to play badly with Zhang Yi if they stay here, it is better to leave and give it a try by themselves. Anyway, their mission is to lure Eclipse Moon, not to defeat it. Even if they encounter members of Eclipse Moon, there is the God Squad to back them up. With this in mind, Chen Xiao said, "Well, people with different paths cannot work together. Let's separate now." Peng Li pointed her chin at Zhang Yi. "When we get points and take over the territory of Linhai City, you will regret it." After the two of them finished speaking, they turned around and left here without hesitation, moving cautiously into the thick fog. Zhang Yi looked at their backs disappearing in the thick fog and raised his eyebrows. They don't understand at all what level of opponents they are facing. Not everyone has experienced the level of battles in Tianhai City. Maybe for Peng Li and Chen Xiao, they are already very powerful as Delta-level mutants. But they don't understand that there are also differences between mutants. So far, the boundaries of human classification of mutants are very vague. Although there is no concept of 9 small levels, there is a very large depth between the same levels. The top-level Delta-level mutants can kill ordinary Delta-level mutants in seconds. Even Zhang Yi dare not be careless. Why are they so arrogant? Do they rely on the God Squad to protect them? It's too much of a joke to hand over your life to others. You asked for it, and you can't blame me if you die. Zhang Yi ignored them, but firmly chose to stay where he was and continued to observe the movements around him. It's not that he is unwilling to contribute to this mission, it's just that he understands that the mutants in the outer city are bait. The real main force of the action is the God Squad. But why can the God Squad wait for an opportunity to take action in the back? But he, Zhang Yi, can't. When necessary, the combat effectiveness that Zhang Yi can exert is much more important than that of most members of the God Squad. Therefore, he will not act blindly. Be patient and wait for the enemy to reveal a flaw. There was another question Zhang Yi hadn't figured out. That was why no one came from his direction. Why didn't they come? Don't they like to come? Zhang Yi held his chin and fell into deep thought. After Chen Xiaoxiao and Peng Li left, Chen Xiaoxiao contacted the headquarters as soon as possible. Headquarters, this is Chen Xiaoxiao. We have separated from Zhang Yi and Liang Yue. They did not obey orders and stayed outside Jiangning Square. Their attitude was too negative. We can't tolerate their behavior, so we chose to leave the team. Over. After listening to this, Zhu Zheng just closed his eyes and said calmly, I know. I agree that you can act on your own. Chen Xiaoxiao was a little surprised. She thought Zhu Zheng would be furious and then settle accounts with Zhang Yi. But she didn't expect Zhu Zheng's reaction to be so calm, but she couldn't figure out what the top management was thinking, so she had to give up. Zhu Zheng, on his side, checked Zhang Yi's side and stopped after walking a short distance. He smiled helplessly with his hand on his forehead. I almost forgot that this guy has always been good at counterattacks. It's really hard for him to be a scout. When a general is away from home, he is not subject to the orders of the king. The mutants in the outer city nominally obey the orders of Blizzard City, but it does not mean that Blizzard City can command them without restrictions. Especially now, letting Zhang Yi go deep into the fog to find the whereabouts of Eclipse Moon is almost equivalent to letting Zhang Yi and others die. So Zhang Yi and Zhu Zheng played a word game and just stopped after moving forward for a distance. Zhu Zheng had no choice. However, this incident will not have much impact on the overall operation. The mutants in the outer city are mainly used as bait, and no enemies appeared in the southeast area, so it can't be blamed on Zhang Yi. Let's wait and see. Zhu Zheng put his hands behind his back and looked at the other two battlefields again. At this time, the battle situation has quickly reached a white-hot state. In the western battlefield, the battle situation on Wu Shifang's side has become increasingly dangerous. The earth-walking immortal Jia Heting was kicked by the great works Yanjin, and his internal organs were shattered. His life or death is unknown underground. Wu Shifang, relying on the joint battle with his clone, couldn't even block the 3 moves of the great works Yanjin. The power of the Yokozuna is terrifying in itself, and after transforming into a mythical creature, Chao Hu, his personal bravery alone is enough to sweep away everything. Hold him! Mo Zhongning shouted at Wu Shifang. Then he summoned a large number of self-destructing soul beasts, ready to give the great works Yanjin a big wave. Wu Shifang's original body had already had his hands cracked. In desperation, his clone also put away his longbow and chose to fight the great works Yanjin in close combat. He took the Lei Gu Wang Jin Cui from the original body and stood in front of the formation. The clone can be sacrificed, and at most it will only cause Wu Shifang to lose some vitality. But creating the right opportunity for teammates may cause harm to Da Gonghui Yanjin. Seeing the opponent who was resisting stubbornly, Da Gonghui Yanjin showed a contemptuous smile at the corner of his mouth. Want to stop me? With you, you are still far from it. He rushed towards Wu Shifang's original body and clone like a speeding locomotive. Wu Shifang and the clone were on the left and right, roaring and vowing not to retreat. If they retreated, it would be completely over. If they fought hard, they would still have a chance to survive. Boom! A terrifying collision sounded, and Wu Shifang's clone stood in the front, but his body was twisted into a ball of dough. Wu Shifang's original body used the clone's force unloading to fly backwards in a mess. He fell heavily to the ground, stretched out his hand to cover his chest, and then he bled in large mouthfuls. Many of his internal organs had been smashed to pieces. If he were not a reinforcement-type mutant, he would have been dead by now. Just as the great workshop Yanjin raised the dragonfly cutter in his hand and was about to chop Wu Shifang to death. The next moment, the great workshop Yanjin's body suddenly disappeared from the spot. By the time he came to his senses, he had already appeared in the air dozens of meters high. At the critical moment, it was Li Wei-hai who used his ability to transfer objects to transfer the great workshop Yanjin away. In addition to transferring the great workshop Yanjin, Mo Zhongning's self-destructive soul beast also appeared beside him. Densely packed, hundreds of crab-like self-destructive soul beasts fell on him and clung to his body tightly. Boom! Intensive explosions rang out in the air. But as the great workshop Yanjin fell from the sky, several people could clearly see that except for some charred hair on his body, there was not even a single wound. Wu Shifeng and his men were filled with despair. How could they fight against such an enemy? Before carrying out this mission, they had also thought about how strong the members of Eclipse Moon were. Even though there was an example of the first battle, that battle itself was a test, and the strength of the mutant organizations involved was not at the forefront. This time, the dozen people selected were all top level in the outer city of Jiangnan district. The four of them fought against one person. Even if they didn't win against Dagonghui Yanjin, they would at least pose a certain threat to him. However, the reality was so cruel. Although they were both Delta-level mutants, the gap in strength was as great as a chasm. "He is simply a monster," Mo Zhongning said desperately, covering his head. Dagonghui Yanjin looked at them with interest. "Your cooperation is very good. It's just a pity that it's a little too weak." Mo Zhongning's self-destructing soul beast is good at sneak attacks and can sneak attack opponents without knowing it. However, it is difficult to maximize the power of a soul beast with supernatural powers, which enables it to have both reconnaissance and bionic functions. And facing the top beastman, his ability is completely a joke. Dagonghui Yanjin raised the dragonfly cut in his hand. "It's almost time to end the fun. I'll send you on your way." He raised the dragonfly cut in his hand and chopped it at Mo Zhongning. His attack was wrapped in the power of thunder, and the terrifying power made the air explode. At this moment, from the distant fog, a meteor broke through the air and hit Dagonghui Yanjin fiercely. Dagonghui Yanjin's eyes condensed. The man's timing was very clever. The moment he swung the dragonfly cut, he attacked the left side of his body. The timing of the attack was very vicious. At this time, Dagonghui Yanjin could not stop his hand to block. His left arm quickly bulged and blocked directly in front of him. Bang! The heavy object like a meteor hit Dagonghui Yanjin's left arm fiercely. The heavy and terrifying force made the Yokozuna's body shake, and he had to retreat more than 10 steps to the side before he could release the force. When Wu Shifeng, Mo Zhongning, and Li Weihai, who were in despair, saw this scene, their eyes gradually lit up with hope. They knew that the God Squad had arrived, the most legendary team with the highest mission completion rate in the entire Jiangnan region. Boom! The flying meteor fell heavily to the ground. When Dagong Yanjin looked carefully, he found that it was a huge anchor tied with chains. In the direction where the chain extended, a figure slowly walked in the fog. "You can retreat first. Let us handle the next thing." 3 figures appeared in the thick fog.